Hello and welcome back to the platform. This is a show that highlights the crucial role that learning from those ahead of you plays. We definitely explore mentorship with 4 participants who come in as industry professionals and learn from an industry leader. And of course, just a seasoned professional. In today's episode, we are joined by Sibusile Sigwane, who joins us to explore her journey through broadcasting, communications, and now being a marketing leader. Let us meet our participants and get straight into the show.
Hello, my name is Palesa Ngambule and I am from Matapa.
Hello, my name is Piwa Ngosi Elvis Mabila and I'm from the beautiful kingdom of Eswatini in the Manzini region, specifically Ngulweni.
Sanibonani, my name is Tutungakamdingosbongo. I am from the beautiful kingdom of Eswatini, currently living in Mbabane.
Hello, I'm Wandile Zishwili. I reside in Mbabane.
I am a young professional in the education and training field. I work at the Institute of Development Management, serving under the Business Development Unit as Programs and Marketing.
I'm in the business of public relations, communications, marketing, but I'm more diverse into global sourcing and basically entrepreneurship.
I am currently in the marketing field, but I don't like to box myself because I find myself doing so many other things. So I'm a broadcasting baby.
The business that I'm currently enrolled in, I'm a brand strategist with a marketing agency called Omni Media, which is our focus in growing brands in different aspects of marketing.
When I joined communications and marketing, I realized that, this is what I'm naturally drawn to. I absolutely enjoy what I do. I love how it allows me to think, how it allows me to create, how it allows me to connect with people and influence others.
I chose this career path because I believe in the connection of people.
It actually chose me, the career I'm in chose me because it's a journey from my birth, really. Not my father picking it for me, but my studies picking it for me. And it's something I've grown to love and I'm very passionate about because it really resonates with my personality and character. And because of my university, I'd say I'm bringing a lot of innovation into the broadcasting sphere.
I choose this career because I want to make use of my brains to expose growth in different areas of communications and marketing through different various channels and the ideas that we explore and attach to those different campaigns and projects.
Well, my career does not have one highlight. It's a series of defining moments. I often find myself in rooms like this. I find myself in opportunities where I get to sit in meetings with the top CEOs of the country, with influencers, with leaders and decision makers, and that moment, that access, that trust alone, it is something I do not take lightly.
My key career highlights was basically tapping into the industry straight from varsity and getting the idea of business straight away, entrepreneurial PR, communication marketing, to connect the 2 dots and making something out of it.
My highlights in my field have to be learning every day, learning something new every day from different people. Also traveling around the country. My job allows me to travel, so I'm able to know what people in all brackets of the country, from your lower class to your upper class, what they would like for them to benefit and live in the country.
My career highlights is basically being exposed in different markets across the African continent, from insurance to banking, and also where I am now dealing with an agency across different brands in different countries.
I think I deserve a sit with today's mentor because she has walked the path already. I am here to learn. I am here to contribute. I am here to grow. And I'm here to receive everything that I'm going to learn on this platform.
I'd want to meet them because of their beautiful track record in their industry, specifically their expertise and leadership with regards to inspiring the youth and the global economy, business, especially in the finance sector.
I want to meet the mentor, today's mentor, because she is young and you do not have a lot of young people that are big faces of marketing and branding. And I like the fact that she has been taken very seriously into this career guide and will teach me a lot so I can grow my knowledge and my experience in the broadcasting sphere.
For today's breakfast, I'm looking to connect and get to know more of what happens within these different brands and corporates, how their operations are, and also to look at opportunities of expanding relationships in terms of connecting, in terms of work that could be done moving forward to grow these different brands that we are having today.
I am most looking forward to engaging with like minds in marketing, learning from them and taking something home that can possibly make me millions of money.
And now that our participants have introduced themselves, we would like to welcome our industry leader and seasoned professional, in the field. It's safe to say that we have selectively and chosen someone who is definitely at the top of what they do. Sibusile, would like to welcome you to the platform.
Thank you. And it's definitely an honor for me to be here. So excited to get to tap into all these youngsters in front of me. Oh my word, I missed engaging with young people. So I'm really excited for it and looking forward to today's conversation.
There's something that we do on the show just to, cut the tension because, wow, it gets really tense here. There's a poll right in front of you.
Okay.
Please pick 3 questions and I always say answer them truthfully.
Okay, so
One after the other.
Okay. Yes. What was your favorite subject at school? It was actually English literature. That was my favorite subject at school.
Interesting.
And then, guys, I hope they are solid questions. Okay. When you were younger, what did you want to be when you grew up and why? So this is scary because I'm actually living in my dream, just living what I actually aspired and I grew up to be. So when I was young, I used to watch a lot of Oprah Winfrey. So I've always wanted to be like a broadcaster, but like someone who's very out there.
Yeah.
So finally I moved out of broadcasting, but like that's my background and that's my passion. That's why I started. I started as a radio broadcaster. So yeah, and I'm glad now I've moved into corporate comms, brand marketing, all the exciting stuff. So excited for that. Number 3, if you could change a career, what other job would you choose and why? I'd actually like to change and be a psychologist if I were to change careers. I'd change and be a psychologist, and I'd do this because human behavior, guys, very, very, very interesting. And even in the world of brand and marketing, we deal a lot with consumer behavior, and behind and the backdrop of consumer behavior is humans and how they think and how they relate. So I'd really love to tap into psychology, actually. And I think it's calmer, quieter, not as busy and loud as marketing. So psychology.
All right. Thank you so much for that. Now we just get into the deep of things. This is where the burning questions start coming. As someone who has journeyed through various industries, you went from broadcasting to communications, banking, and now marketing leadership. What are some of the key principles that you can share with us that have guided you through this career evolution?
So very important, and I'll maybe give you a bit of background as to why broadcasting and then PR. Growing up, I've always wanted to be, broadcaster. And like I said, I liked Oprah Winfrey. But then I did a lot of research and I followed quite a lot of people in country, a lot of people in radio. So Zanele Zuzu Ngomalo used to listen, love her, Lelo Njali Njali. So I aligned myself to broadcasting at a very young age. And my dad loved radio. So that's the one thing that was ever the loudest at home. And I think that's why I also ended up in radio. So did a lot of that. And my passion grew towards broadcasting. But while I was studying broadcasting in university, I then realized that broadcasters are now moving to corporate comms. And I started following a lot of people in corporate communication. So I started reading a lot about people even in the country, like Sharon Mazia. She also left radio, went into corporate comms. So I've been very consistent in ensuring that I feed my craft and I feed the beast inside me, which is always wanting to learn, always following through and really having role models in the space and area that you want to grow and fully immerse yourself in.
Beautiful.
My question to you, as someone with a background in media, how has that experience influenced your approach to marketing and branding at the executive level?
So with a background in media, really sitting in the role that I currently sit at really allows for me and even enables me to have a bigger voice in terms of speaking to the channels where we position the brand, right? Because media is very diverse and a lot of it speaks to the right channel, the channel that's going to be suitable for the audience that you're wanting to reach out to. So having an understanding of all the media houses, and I think I really appreciate having worked in the media space before, because as a PR person, as a comms person, there's days where you need to organize a press briefing, right? And because I've worked in the media, it makes it really easy because I established very good working relationships across all the media houses. So be it print, be it TV, we used to meet on the field. So now calling them in to say, guys, this is what we're doing, please support me, makes it easier. But even before we get there, I already know from us curating the strategy with all the dynamic teams I've been able to work with, we're clear in terms of this is the channel and this is why. So not every messaging is suitable for TV, but there's some messaging that's suitable for radio, likewise print and social media in our current day and age, right? So it has really helped me be firm in terms of our why. And even when we get to issues of budgets to say, yeah, but TV costs a lot of money or, print is costing us a lot of money, I'm able to then align every content and what it is we're trying to drive across to the correct channel because I've got a full understanding of the power of that channel and who is listening and watching or reading that channel.
That's bold. Interesting. I know now you're in a stage where you make a call in terms of recruitment and those panels. You're sitting there. What's that sort of skill that or feature that you look into when you're seeing a young professional, business professional coming in to join the brand that you are in?
Thank you. And I get asked that a lot, but really just honestly and just my personal opinion, show up. Show up, be present, be prepared. Because when you get into a panel, I find most of the people that do come unprepared, one, or haven't done research around the industry or the organization they're coming to interview for. And thirdly, they just don't believe in themselves. Because I can tell you right now, when someone walks in the room, just from their hello, you can tell confidence or not sure about their story. And then most importantly, again, is have mentors. Like before you go to an interview, have someone you can bounce off the interview with. I mean, they could take you through the questions that you could possibly come across. But questions change, right? And at the end of the day, I always say, it's beyond the questions that we ask at interviews. We're looking for skill. And sometimes it's not, book smart skill. Marketing also requires quite a lot of street smart because you work a lot with people. But we're also looking for people skills because you could be the smartest person in the room, but your values and just your character and the kind of person that you are doesn't align to the kind of brand that you want to work with. So education is very important, but also how you show up, the people that you follow, your mentors. But most importantly, you show up and in your authentic self. Don't try go in and be a sim. Go in as a Wandile, go in as a Palesa, as a Pio, as a Pello, and fully sell yourself. It takes 5 minutes literally to get to see the candidate that might possibly get the role. And I always find in the few panels that I've sat in, at the end of the interview, when the panel is sitting and discussing and going through the scoreboard, we all relate and align to the same person. It's very rare that scores are different. And at the end of the day, it's all about just the person coming into the room, showing up respectfully. Assertiveness is good, but respectfully. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Sibu. That was quite insightful. My question is, from your perspective as a leader in branding and communications, how can young professionals like us build strong personal brands? especially in this age of social media where image and perception matter so much?
That's very important, guys. It's very important. And even outside of, brand marketing and communications, it's very important to have a very solid personal brand. How you carry yourself, how you conduct yourself on social media, especially, very important. Before we select CVs, because we get a lot of CVs, you can imagine. We go through your social media. I personally go through people's social medias because I want to know the person. And you pick up a lot from social media. And I always say, guys, it doesn't matter if this trend is hot and it's, popular and everyone's commenting. Not every trend deserves your comment, right? Yeah. You can have your own opinion and it's fine. And I mean, in a circle this close-knit, we can have a go at it and really discuss, whatever trend, but how you carry yourself and building a personal brand is very important, because outside of roles and, job descriptions, there's people behind those roles, and executives and other colleagues, senior managers are looking for a certain kind of caliber person. So how you carry yourself, how you relate to people. We work with a lot of stakeholders in marketing. You may be the executive, you may be the boss, but how you relate to people, and people from ground level. So like how you speak to the cleaners, the guys at the securities, but you won't have that if even at home you treat your nanny a certain way, you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's really just how you express yourself, but also how you carry yourself. So good parts are actually very important, guys. And I always say it also speaks a lot about your background. So your background comes out very strongly if, you come from a background that's not so firmly grounded in values. So those values carry you from just high school to university. They carry you right into corporate. And it's those very values and that personal brand that's going to allow people in rooms that you're not privy to be in to root for your name when someone mentions your name. So it's very important to have a personal brand and to protect your personal brand. I was, and I'll share this because I'm on this table now, like my days in radio were my wildest days, and that was fine. You know what I mean? Like that was fine. There was the time for that. I was still young, I was still exploring. But even when I was on radio, and even for me it was, okay, people know my voice, but they don't know me. But then I first realized that people actually know me, they hear my voice and they look forward to listening to me on radio. So I need to be careful of what I'm posting on social media, where I hang out. To the point that when I transitioned from radio to corporate communications, I stopped going out. And it's not because I don't like going out. It just didn't make sense for the role that I was transitioning into. So it's important to be aware and to protect that personal brand, because there's also misconceptions. People see you and they associate you to a brand. So any opinion that you express or share is easily misconstrued to deem, oh, so this is brand X's perception. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So protect your personal brand, carry yourself very well. Don't forget your values. Don't forget where you come from.
Yeah, that was quite insightful and in-depth. Ngozi, you've climbed the ladder of dreams, which many aspire to climb. How does sitting in that executive chair today reflect on the early stages of your career, and how would you compare the two stages from a perspective of where we are today and how we would be in the next maybe 3 or 5 years?
I'd say, so I still walk into every executive meeting and I am teary-eyed because I still can't believe it. But believe it or not, like every other day for me is a new day on the table. And it's very important to sit on the table and confidently reaffirm yourself that you deserve to be on the table. There's a process that you go through before you can get to that table. And getting to that table says there's someone that's believed in you, that is so you fit and deemed you ready to sit on that table. So because there's someone and you've got a community of people like that, show up, don't embarrass yourself and don't embarrass that person. So always stay prepared, always be prepared. And I'll even go as far as saying, You'll never know when you're ready. But when opportunity strikes, raise a hand. Raise a hand. And even if you don't know everything that's in that job description, raise your hand if you know at least over 50%. The rest of the other elements that will be required from that role and of you, that's where you tap into your role models and your mentors.
Yeah.
Those are the people that are going to help guide you. And in life, guys, you have good and bad shoulders. And I'll quickly just go through good and bad shoulders. Good shoulders are the leaders that have extended their shoulders for you to stand on. They're good. There's also bad shoulders where you've had bad experiences in life, but those are still leaders that would have extended their shoulders for you to stand on. Both shoulders are good. So appreciate both shoulders. And in the season of good or bad, don't lose who you are, where you want to go. And even as an executive, the challenges become worse because now remember, you have to manage a team, guys. You have to manage people. It's no longer just about you. It's no longer just about you and your line. It's you and the people that you've been assigned to lead. And you have to lead by example. So you cannot ask people to do something that you cannot do yourself. And that's just my, perspective of leadership. So I'm very clear in terms of even at the table, you don't stop learning. So even for trends and stuff, especially in marketing, guys, marketing is so dynamic and so diverse now. It's getting wilder and wilder in marketing. So the things that worked back then are fast changing. And if you're on that table, everyone is watching you and waiting for you to guide. And again, you have to be able to ensure that the brand character, whatever brand you're blessed to work with, you're able to fully live up to that character, to ensure that brand is relatable in the context of Eswatini.
All righty. Thank you so much for that. That was really insightful. But we will be taking a short commercial break. When we return, we're talking about more things about marketing and, of course, letting our participants just dig deep into the experience, and the leadership of our champion for today. But that is what we will return.
I am inspired by my father, whom is a media mogul, I would say, and he's done a lot of influence. He's influenced a lot in the country, some behind the scenes and some in front of the scenes. And because of him, I'm able to stand in front of a camera and not be shy, because it's something he taught me at a very early age in my life and just pushed me to always go for it, make a name for myself, and always be lovely to people.
I'd say I draw my inspiration from people who do their best, people who drive conversations, meaningful conversations in society, and the people who make and leave a legacy in their everyday lives.
I'm inspired by the combination of politics into business and how businesses end up in politics.
I'm inspired by growth. Watching people evolve and become who they were meant to be, that is my greatest inspiration. I'm also inspired by a woman who leads with grace, a woman who carries herself with poise, a woman that does not shrink in a room where she deserves to shine. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is my mother. I always say that if I'd ever become half the woman that she is, I'd consider that a life well lived. I like taking things lightly during my spare time. I find so much joy in relaxing. So spa dates, discovering new places, good food, and good company.
During my spare time, I'm gonna sleep. I work a lot, so I will reward myself with sleep. But if I'm de-stressing from the busy that I usually do, I am going to go to Pick and Pay and just buy things I don't need, because I'm going for eating. But I reward myself with sleep the most.
In my spare time, I love to engage in new trends. And then the next will be just exploring the beautiful landscape of the Kingdom of Eswatini in context of hiking and tourism in regard.
Welcome back. If you just tuned in, this is The Platform, a show that highlights how crucial it is to learn from those ahead of you. And in today's episode, we are joined by Sibusile. We've had a brief conversations, but now we get to dig deep, into your career and the journey that you've had. I think one of the most biggest challenges that we face as young professionals is breaking into industries that seem closed off. And earlier on, I like that you were speaking so much about tables. And one question that's commonly asked is, what do you bring to the table anyway? But now, what mindset or practical steps can young people take to create opportunities where they seem to be?
So in this first day of social media, guys, very important to align yourself to trends. But I mean, obviously, go with a trend that aligns with who you are as well. Content creation is the next big thing. So I would say align yourself to content marketing, because that's what brands are looking for. Influencer marketing is the next big thing. I believe as a country, we can still do better, but it's beautiful to see content marketers coming to the fore. But again, on the backdrop of content marketers are individuals. So remember to balance the two. So your content marketing, that brand, ensure it's separated from now your personal brand.
Okay. Now, with the corporate marketing part, this is where I feel it gets difficult, because now we've got AI transforming how organizations engage with audiences. I would like to know how you see this as either shaping the future of the marketing industry in Eswatini, and if it's good for us.
Look, earlier I mentioned how marketing is a fast-paced environment and has trends growing every other year. There's a new trend in marketing. AI is not going anywhere. The sooner we latch onto AI, the better, because even in marketing, it is going to come in handy. It actually is handy because we already are using AI to a certain extent, especially with regards to design and strategies to a greater extent. So I think in Eswatini, definitely, there's a lot more potential. I'd just say for corporate communications and marketing teams, it's important to get themselves aligned to the trend. Of course, understanding the brand that you work for as well, because not everything works for everyone. But I'd say as a young person, latch onto AI, because that's the next big trend.
Okay.
Indeed. So I know you're a human being after all.
And thankfully I'm you.
Yeah. For me, it's check. How do you get, consistency builds growth, right? So how do you find the balance between life, real situation challenges and your professional career? How do you bring in the balance between the two?
It's tough. I'm going to be very honest. It's very tough balancing. I have to balance being a mom and being a leader and also just showing up every day at work, you know what I mean? But you balance, and what helps you balance is your values. Who are you? So constantly tapping back to who you are helps you balance, because during the day, I'm an executive and I'm a leader and I am a mentor to other people. And on the moment I get at home, I'm a mom and I'm a wife. And I need to balance the two, because I need being a mom and being a wife to help me show up at work. And I need showing up at work in my best self to help me fulfill the role of being a mom and a wife.
Deep.
It's quite deep, and I'm learning a lot of things because I'm also a mom and I also need to balance both work and being a mom. So this brings me to my next question. What advice would you give a young marketing and communications professional who struggles to communicate their value in professional spaces?
Sure, that's a tough one, but I'll keep going back to mentors. So you need to find someone that you look up to. And guys, in this day and age of social media, don't be afraid, be bold, be courageous, reach out to the person. You already see they on LinkedIn. Drop them a message, whichever channel you're comfortable dropping them a message on. But I'd say if it's professional, drop them a message on LinkedIn. Ask to have coffee or whatever else on, but ask to meet, raise a hand, because they're not going to know. You already know you're struggling and you know you're good, but you're just not sure how to break into the market. One thing I love about being bold is when you raise a hand and you reach out to someone, that person will always have you top of mind. And at the level that I sit at, I still get questions around, look, we're looking for someone in this role and whatever else, particularly marketing. Do you know someone? And if I already have you in the pool of people or some of the people that I'm mentoring, I'll already know your strengths and I'll know the brand that's reaching out to me to ask me for a particular person. And I'll already say, look, here's someone that you can give a shot. So it's very important to get yourself out there, but reach out. All these people who are sitting on all these tables, they started somewhere, guys, right? And it took people, like I said earlier, good and bad shoulders. It took those people to get them to where they are. So reach out, don't be afraid.
Interesting. Because you speak of raising a hand. They often say that for an organization to thrive, it must constantly accept and develop new talent. Why is it important to give opportunities to young people, professionals, without overlooking experience in that regard?
It's very important. And it's very important because as a professional, you grow up, right? And you get to a certain level where you're not being a mom and you're being a wife. And so but these young people are dynamic and they are always up there with the trends. And as an experienced marketer or someone who's maybe has a bit more experience, important not to downplay the talent and the skills that young people have. Actually, you're better off hanging out on a table filled with young people versus a table that's with a lot of experienced people. But I mean, again, balancing the two. But I'd really say very important to have young, talented people, and we should not overlook talent, especially in marketing communications, because creatives are so dynamic. And once you tap into them and you understand also how they work, they move differently. You cannot manage a creative like you would manage, a normal person in a different field. But for creatives, dynamic, absolutely love them.
And we're trusting change makers like you, to bring that to the table high up there. But in this show, mentorship rather is central to what we are about. And I like that earlier on, you kept on mentioning that you always had to feed the beast in you. What are some of your key mentors, people that helped you along the way, and how did their experiences or what you drew from them guide you in shaping the person that you've become today?
So I lean very closely towards the leaders that I've had an opportunity to work under. And that for me works like magic. So I'll mention a few. I've been privileged to work with people like Asanele Kumalo. She's the country manager at Coca-Cola. I've worked with, like I mentioned, Zanele Ndumalo as well. She used to be my boss while I was at radio. She was the editor at the time, and I still work for radio. So I stay close to those people, but also I have a pool of other mentors that I heavily rely on. Some are not in the country. Most are in SA. There's Thokozani Nyolo. She was former group head marketing Standard Bank Malawi. So I have a lot of mentors that I reach out to. And like I told you guys, the higher you rise, the challenges also get bigger. You need people who have sat in those tables to be able to help you guide and navigate some of those challenges. So very important to have those people. And I'm really grateful for those people because, they take their personal time to listen in and to help me through some of the challenges, but even some of the wins, because sometimes it's not just you going to mentors when you have challenges, it's you going to your mentors when you have ideas and just benchmarking to see, do you think it would work? Are there any areas you think I haven't really maybe touched on? would a CFO give me all the money when I come with such a strategy? What would you say? So like very important, and they help you fully build like a comprehensive work plan. And now when you go to the table, you go back to your team comfortable.
Thank you. And as an all-rounder in the marketing, broadcast, communications bracket, in your opinion, does placing branding, marketing, and sales under one umbrella work for organizations, or should these remain separate departments? And how should entrepreneurs think when this comes to building their own businesses?
So I don't think they should be in the same department. And I say this because branding is a science, marketing is its own science. Sales is the actual selling of the product. But to get people in the room to even buy the product, that's brand and marketing. And you leave it to brand and marketers, right? That's positioning. Sales is a different beast altogether, because now that means the sales team needs to go get and bring in the sales, right? So whether it's from channels or it's physical. So I say, let's keep them separate. What I would say should possibly be sitting in brand and marketing is customer service. And I say that because how people and customers experience your brand is very telling of how they then perceive the brand and what they say about the brand. So I would definitely sales, no. But customer service, I'd say bring customer service right into brand and marketing, because all the brilliant work that we do is impacted if people aren't experiencing the brand in the way that it's positioned.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, leaders rise and fall. Yes,
They do.
I'm coming into the real life of things. So why is it important as a leader to always portray or maintain a positive energy?
It's important because when you fall, you're going to need that energy, right? But I always say it is in the moment of your rising that you start preparing for your when you fall, right? Because you have to land somewhere. When you do fall, where you're going to land, and where and how you're going to land is going to be determined by how you treat people.
All righty. Thank you so much for that, Sibusile. We will be taking a short commercial break. When we return, we get into the last round of things. And most importantly, finding out what legacy you hope to leave behind with the work that you have been doing. But we will be back.
I like to believe the youth of Eswatini is very brilliant. They have so much skill, they are ambitious. And, you know, the only thing that is missing is mindset change. If we could start believing in starting to do things now, do not procrastinate and do it now. Do not wait for the perfect condition. Do not wait for the perfect time. Get up and do it now. I believe we can take over Eswatini.
I'd describe the youth of Eswatini as vibrant, fast-forward thinking, change makers. Watch the space. They're going to take over.
I view the youth in Eswatini as very innovative, but I still feel there's a lot to learn, not a lot to copy. We need to gradually grow into thinking outside the box and not look at what someone else has done and running with it. I feel we need to take ourselves more seriously, and business-minded way, we tend to not take ourselves seriously because we're just looking for the opportunity to get that opportunity. So if then the youth is going to say, hey, I'm very good at this IT thing, let me stand my ground, show my work and stand for it. Be more aggressive as the youth. I feel that's what we're missing, not to be babied around it as well.
Young people in every aspect of the world are the same, but we have not been exposed, or have not exposed our creativity to that level. We have not come to the part. We're always bringing the barriers out of our creativity. So there's nothing much that we have showcased, but I believe there's still an opportunity of growth. There's still an opportunity for us to come into the part and showcase how great young minds are.
Welcome back to the platform. Today, we have the honor of being hosted by Sigwane Hotel. They have so many offerings, and you could definitely check them out at www.sigwanesami.co.za. Still continuing our conversation with our champion for the day, which is, of course, Mrs. Sibusile Sigwane. I hope I said that right. You know, we've been talking, and I think it's been all so roses, and you've had good experiences here. But now I want to tap into the bad experiences that once made you like feel like, hey, I could literally just swear at someone at this point. The high pressure environments where people feel like, you know, they're bigger and they're better than you. How have you handled those situations, and what advice could you give to, you know, the young people who do not maybe carry themselves the way that you would? I'm going to leave this, I'm going to resign, I'm going to leave Mulana. You know, we're really that generation.
Yeah, I don't need to calm down. You all need to calm down.
Yeah, how have you managed your stress and, of course, you know, personal growth in competitive industries?
Yo. So it's okay to be vulnerable, right? And I've learned the hard way that it's actually okay to be vulnerable. They always say it gets colder as you grow. It's cold at the top. But I really work hard to create very good working relationships with my team. And I'm able to be vulnerable enough to my team. So they'll already know if I'm having a hard day, or if there's an initiative that we cannot go above the line with because of, you know, whatever reason. But I mean, I also have to be the bigger person in how I land the news back to the team. And like, I'll soft cry with the team, but like, I'll cry when I get home. I'll cry. And it's okay to cry. I've learned in marketing that it's actually okay to cry. It's human. And I mean, but you never cry on the table. I mean, you pack it in and you come out boldly, and you also don't take it personal. It's not personal. It's always business, it's work, but important to be vulnerable, but without oversharing, because there's a thin line. So yeah, I've had to be vulnerable, but one thing about me, like, something's made me mad or angry or sad today. Tomorrow, Shane, I'm bubbly, I'm like, nothing happened. Or even when landing the bad story, I'm landing it in a very humorous, you know, like very sarcastic. So it's not, you know, making my team feel so bad. And we laugh about it, but I know when we all go home and it's something we're all excited for and passionate and put a lot of work to it. I know individually we have our own different ways, but how I landed, very sarcastic, very humorous. Okay, guys, making all this. But next time we come back bigger, better, you know, and we keep it moving. We keep it moving.
I think that's a really good trait to have, because in our field, we need to balance our emotions very well. Also because we're exposed to very different kinds of people.
Yes.
But on the realness of your journey, I'd like you to just guide us on what you feel is the most essential element of building a resilient brand in a rapidly changing landscape of communications.
I'd say consistency, and never swaying from the brand character. So brand character at the center of everything. Who is this brand? What is this brand? What does it stand for? What are the key pillars from a societal perspective that this brand wants to impact, and constantly going back to check if are we still in line, and understanding, of course, the business strategy, and then also having an appreciation of, from a marketing perspective, are we even in line and in tune with the strategy the business is trying to bring across? And that's marketing's role, ensuring that the clients that we are relating to are able to engage seamlessly with the brand at each and every contact and point of presence. But consistency. And if your brand character is, and I'm not going to say like one specific brand because I've been privy to work for a lot of brands, but just in summary, brand character, and you will know the character of the brand you work with. And I'll always say to any marketer coming in the first few months, give yourself time to understand the brand. As far as what's the tone of the brand, what are the colors, what are the visuals of the brand? Because, you know, marketers, guys, we get so excited. There's a trend, there's this interesting trend that we're seeing these days. And every brand is latching on. And I'm like, should all brands be latching on? But, you know, important.
It's funny that I could tell.
Yeah, right? But I'm not going to mention it just because, I mean, look, it worked for some brands, but just consistency, know who you are, of course, important. But what's important is right now you're hired for this brand and you can never move yourself from the character of that brand. So in everything that you do, the character at the center, and even in the strategies and all the work that we do, is it in line with the brand character? Is it in line with the brand CI?
Yeah, no, incredible. Someone out there who is watching us now is interested to sit at the chair that you're sitting in as CMO of F&B. What advice would you give that one leader who's out there looking to get to that chair one day?
One day, I'd say never stop developing your craft. And that's the one thing that will always make you stand out. Your craft, your personal brand, how you carry yourself, but also your work. Your work must always speak for itself. It's okay. Not everyone is going to like you, deal with it. But your work will always speak for itself. And even in an industry, in a country as big as Eswatini, what you do and what you put out there, whether as an individual or as a team on behalf of any brand, the person who's at the helm of it impacts the work that goes out. So consistency, don't stop dreaming, don't stop reading. Don't stop reading, guys, don't stop reading. Keep in touch with the trends, follow all these big, bold brands in other countries, but also important, expose yourself. Consistently expose yourself. If you're into events or you're into marketing, whatever, attend other events. When you travel in other countries, take pictures of signage, billboards, like consistently feed the beast, because what's here in this country is not what's there in other countries. And it's in what's in other countries that you're exposed to that you're able to bring back and customize for the market here. So that's very important.
How can the available tools be used to reflect both business and personal branding effectively?
Okay, so when you say tools, which tools?
Basically, all the marketing tools that we have given to us as professionals. Yeah.
Okay, how can they be used effectively?
Yes.
I'd say don't aspire to use all the channels. I'll relate to channels because, you know, it could be a campaign and it's going to fly, but some campaigns are just good enough and suitable for just social media. And even from a cost perspective, it will cost you much less to just leverage and use social media. But as far as you can, and I mean, we always all want to have 360 campaigns, but not every product requires a 360 campaign. It's okay to have short, small drives and just limit it to, it's a purely digital campaign. We'll also do below the line marketing, we'll do direct marketing. So I'd say as far as we can now, in the context of Eswatini also, guys, data is becoming very important. Data-led marketing is becoming even more important because the thumb sucking we've been doing is not going to work going forward. People know what they want and people see what we're saying and people actually comment and relate on social media, even about the work that we do. So data-led marketing for me is the next big thing. And we need to, as brands, latch onto it and ensure that even the corporates and companies that we work for are collating the right data. So when we want to do direct marketing, I'm actually speaking to Wandile, I'm actually speaking to Paris, I'm actually speaking to Tutu, not sending Sibu a message that can actually only relate to Wandile. So that's important.
Thank you so much for that. That just really close off our conversation. But all I can say is thank you so much for coming here to shine your light, share your experience, both professional and personal experiences. I don't think this is an opportunity that just comes, and we're only honored to have you here with us at the platform. Thank you so much.
Love it. Thank you guys for having me, and all the best in your careers. I'm following you guys closely.
I'm very sure, that we will be seeing them. The tables will turn.
Definitely.
The tables will certainly turn. But that is it from us, Makai. It has been such an honor, to bring this to you today. And we hope that our participants will continue to be a beacon of hope for all the young aspiring Eswatini who wish to break out into the marketing space and many more other spaces. But from myself, Belongosi, and the team, it is good night and God bless.
My key takeaways in this conversation is that be confident. And the last one would be not only when you're an eagle, you pray for the storm in calmness, but you pray for the storm so that you can reckon in the storm. So I think it's been a good time spending with the CEO. Definitely looking forward to more sessions like this.
So the key takeaways for today's session was to understand how we apply ourselves as professionals in different brands and how we actually bring in balance in our careers and our lives that we are living. And luckily enough, we shared that career through one of the professionals that was here.
I think shows like the platform are very important for the youth because you are able to take back what those before us have been exposed to and not just take what we have learned from universities or our own experiences, but be able to merge those two worlds into one. So if the youth actually engage into shows like the platform, they really are going to take a lot because we do have a lot of questions, some which we're not able to cover, fully, and some which we also thought of after. But it's a good privilege, a big privilege to communicate with people as big as Sibusile Sigwane to help us engage well with our jobs, with our passions, with our dreams, and our personalities as well.
My greatest takeaway from today's session is that how you present yourself, how you show up when you think no one is watching, it can actually open doors for you didn't even knock on.
We have definitely learned so much from today's conversation, and it does not end there because we will be joined by other industry leaders who hope to impact our young people here in the Kingdom of Eswatini. With that said, we have to love, we have to leave you. Until next time, it is goodbye.